That is evidence that joy is always just around the corner. The previous video I was recording was just 2 steps in the other direction. I moved the camera because I wanted to be on more even terrain as I did my next video. And this was the scenery that I was met with. That is the power, the magic of life. And so often we get distracted by highway noise, or insect bites, or the bills that we have to continually pay, or the relationships that aren't fruitful in our life anymore. And yes, that is a part of it. But my friends, that is diversity. They say diversity is the spice of life, and over time we're going to start talking more and more about these sayings, adages, phrases, universal wisdom, because English is a language of a lot of words, to say nuanced, different things. All of that coming back to diversity is the spice of life. Without contrast, we would lose our way. And so, in our time together, it is my hope that I impart skills that help you learn to establish and then learn to deepen and enrich your ability to move through life empowered in whatever circumstances find their way to you. Every obstacle contains a gift that is uniquely curated for you, if you are willing to do the work of uncovering that obstacle, unpacking it to find the beauty that is inside. I just can't get over this scenery. So I'll tell you a little bit about my journey to wrap up this video before I move on to the next thing that I'll talk about. The main reason that I can't get over this view is because I found myself in some life changes recently. And that change involved moving back to the state of New Mexico for a temporary time. When I got here just 3 weeks ago, roughly, I was coming from living in a place on this earth that was at sea level. So that's the first big change. At sea level, which also means readily accessible water sources all the time. And by coming here, I have climbed in elevation 6,000 feet, 7,000 feet. This national forest, this place that I'm at right now, is 8,000 feet above sea level. This directional side of the mountains is very different than the other side of the mountains where I reside. This has been a remarkable teacher and reminder about the spirit of place, the spirit of the land. So coming back to the reason that this view is so ecstatic for me is because it's so completely different than the other side of this mountaintop. What I am coming to understand too is that there are places in our life when we move through obstacles and we are so focused on what it is that we don't like or what is stressing us out, right? Stress is the #1 killer of your joy of life. And the thing about stress is it can show up in many forms. It can show up and it can cause you to doubt yourself because you think in many ways my life is good, what do I have to complain about? That's the tricky part of stress, but that's an energy we're going to talk about as we go further as well. So when you are acclimating to a new space, when you are meeting the beings of a space, whether they be humans, plants, animals, the land itself, it's so important to remember that you are discovering one another, you are meeting one another, and you are seeing what is and is not in alignment. There are places that you can travel in your lifetime that will light you up so much, like this space for me. But other people who are not attuned, other people who are not on this kind of path, will be lit up by different spaces of land. And this is how we come together in community. If all of us were good at the exact same things, if all of us coveted the exact same spaces and wanted to work with the exact same spirits, that would make life very challenging. It would make it very crowded. And then this is where we understand the concept of diversity in a different way. Diversity allows us to spread things out. It allows us to take the peaks and the valleys and move them in such a way that we actually can have humane sustainability through the various experiences. So, my challenge for you, my invitation for you today, can you be grateful for the things that are irritating you in your life right now? Genuinely. And once you do that, can you be grateful for the things that absolutely light you up? I am Jessica Radiance. This is the Rune Weaver, and we'll be back for more heart-to-heart talks about what it is to live in these days, in this time, in this age, as a human.